Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon. Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Commissioner Elaine. I'm sure I'm messing this thing up again, but I can hear yourself 2 times and everything. So I welcome you to Elaine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Uh, whether you're listening on AM, FM, or you're here on Facebook Live, we want to welcome Crawford to you, Golf, Sharon Tal, and all the rest who have tuned in. And looks like you have to hear me twice today. I swear I do it, but whatever it didn't do it. I just so shocked. The sister and I went here Beverly on Saturday night. It was a wonderful show, with the exception of that lady up in front of the whole time. It was just wonderful to hear Beverly and May. I swear. Um, it is so important for people, isn't it, Terry Gilmore? For you to buy a ticket on the floor, plus the stage. You're there with me. You're listening to Frankie Beverly and you're looking at somebody's behind. That was not a good thing. So y'all, when you buy tickets, just think about other folks who have bought tickets and paid as much as you paid, and think about them and be polite. Everybody doesn't stand up the whole show, and I'm not gonna do it. So if you have a solution to this, how you have people to sit down for 30th. I know they're enjoying the show. I want to enjoy the show, but I heard the wonderful music, Frankie Beverly and all of them, but, I sure couldn't see all of them. I sure couldn't see them. And, so it was, that's one of those things that's just a pet peeve of mine, being courteous to other people. Um, there's some of our, who are on Facebook who are asking about the sound. I tell you, I don't know. The thing I can tell you is I didn't do it. Uh, alright, welcome, Terry Gilmore, Miss Myra, Sharon Talton, um, Jeanette Goff, Randy Crawford, and those who are listening on AM and FM. Sharon Woolfolk is with us. Good afternoon to you and everyone else. Would you please like and share? I'm serious though about this concert thing because um, not only did the person stand up on one song or two songs, but the whole Frankie Beverly and Mays performance. So anyway, um, what do you do? What do you do? Call us 478-250-1444 if you've got. Now, we've got two mayors, two black female mayors who are our guests for Ask Elaine today. The two of them, one is Mayor Joyce Denson from Toomsboro. The other is Mayor Mary is the mayor of Milledgeville. And they are going, there's one coming in. There's Mayor Denson is coming in. And oh, she's all in red for Georgia. Is that for Georgia? Georgia didn't have to beat up on those folks like that. That was not a fair match. How did Texas Christian get in the playoff, get in the national championship anyway? I mean, gosh, just like a professional team playing a little league team. I thought it was going to be kind of an even match to begin with. We want to welcome Sherry Shannon Miller and Dr. Mary Butler. They're saying the sound is back to normal. We appreciate it. Took the um, bishop to come in and pray it right for us. Um, Susan Smith, welcome, and Sharon Woolfolk, all of the rest of you who have joined us. We want to welcome you. We want to express our condolences to all those families who've lost loved ones or those who are dealing with illnesses. We want to express that we are thinking about you and we want things to be better for you. The young man, Mr. Hamlin, whose heart stopped in the Bills game, I understand he was transferred from the hospital that he was in. He was transferred back home, and he has been released from the hospital, and so they're gonna of course be very, very careful, very cautious with him. He's back in with his family, and also back with the team under their watchful eye. And so I know that has to be a nerve-wracking experience to go through that, and we can only wish him well. We certainly do hope. We've had some exciting, exciting things happening. We bring you greetings on behalf of Senator Lucas, who was sworn in on yesterday for his 24th term in the Georgia State Legislature. And each term is a 2-year term. Wonder why they have 2-year terms. Everybody else got 4-year term. Anyway, um, but he thanks all those who wish him well. If you have things that you want to share with him, we're going to put his cell phone number in the chat, and you feel free to make contact with him, and we will try and keep you up to date on all of those different issues that they're going to be dealing with. I think one of the things they're going to try to do is to make sure that the Republican majority does not impose upon people any more of these terrible, terrible laws that have been put in place for voter suppression and other kinds of things. So we've got to deal with that. But the black caucus is growing. From what I understand, over in the Senate, the Democrats gained 2 seats there, which means, and every seat means something. So maybe there will be some terrible things that they might be able to stop. But anyway, keep in touch with your senator. Keep in touch with your state representatives. We want to express congratulations to Senator John Kennedy, who was elected pro tem of the Senate, and Burt Jones, former Senator Burt Jones, was elected as lieutenant governor. So he will be, I think today, he and the governor will be sworn in, and all of the other constitutional officers were sworn in this morning. And so Burt Jones, who, by the way, is still having some troubles because he was one of those fake Republican electors. So we'll see how that happens. That happened. That's against the law to do that kind of stuff. And so he was duly elected. And so we're going to see what happens with that. Y'all watch the news and see what's going on around you so that you know what people are in position and what they're doing for you and to you. Reginald May, welcome to Ask Elaine. And we will relay your congratulations to the senator. Dr. Butler has joined us, Mayor Denson. And oh, of course, Reginald says, "Go Dogs." Uh, and Sharon Woolfolk congratulates Senator Lucas. One other thing, we're expressing our condolences to families who have lost loved ones or who may be ill, and we wish them only the best. Before I start our interview with the Honorable Mayor Joyce Denson of Toomsboro, I want to share with you one very, very important item that was passed at your committee of the whole on yesterday. This is an act that would create funding for affordable housing. Many of you know that finding housing in today's market is almost impossible, and there are many, many families that are in hotels waiting to find a house that will accommodate the family. That is a serious problem. And then we have the problem of a lot of speculators who come in and purchase property. They might fix it up and then they jack the rents up so high until a family is just strapped to pay the rent. And they never are able to put aside money to have the down payment, a closing cost, whatever it is, to actually buy a home. And home ownership is one of those things that brings about wealth in a family. If you start to own something, then you have something to pass along to your children. And therefore, you build that generational wealth. You build the wealth in your families. Well, if you never get to a point where you can afford a home that's yours that you can pass along, then you're just treading water. And so, this affordable housing project that was approved by the committee and will be on the agenda for the next commission meeting is proposing to take $7.5 million dollars out of our federal monies that the Biden administration, by the way, has been responsible for sending to cities and to states to improve our communities and other foundations are pledging to match that 7.5 million so that there will be a pot of 15 million where developers, where homeowners, individual homeowners, even some renters will be able to be involved in a loan fund where we can build some affordable houses in on those areas where we have torn down dilapidated structures. Also, there's some provisions for building home ownership, and so I just think that's just great. And Dr. Butler agrees that that problem of affordable housing is really, really serious. Pastor Lisa, welcome. Mr. Cotton has joined us and Ricky Crawford has joined us. So we welcome you to Ask Elaine. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was just talking about the housing initiative that's being put in place where there will be a pot of $15 million that will be set up so that we can have contractors and individual homeowners to be involved in borrowing monies at low rates, and the purpose would be to build new structures on those properties where we've torn down dilapidated structures, and also to provide assistance in rehabbing because we have a lot of properties in this community that don't need to be torn down. They're really solid structures and they need to be repaired, renovated. And so next week I will have more information for you as to whether we did final approval on this, and we had several people who were appointed to boards and authorities. We approved some additional lighting work that's going to take place in the community to make it safer. Um, and also, we're sort of a pass through, but our own district attorney, Anita Reynolds Howard, who is forever applying for grant monies, and she takes that money and puts it into some worthwhile programs. And she has done that with the RISE program. It was my honor a few weeks ago to attend the graduation ceremony for the first group of about 20 young people who have had some emotional challenges, maybe some intellectual challenges in the past, but they were so proud to graduate. And after their graduation ceremony, where the superintendent of schools spoke, they were treated to a wonderful lunch. And then Mike Kaplan and his family, they've set up a fund to give a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays to unfortunate families. And so all of those graduates were treated to a shopping spree, compliments of Mike Kaplan and his family with the Mary. His daughter Mary, Merrie, passed away maybe 2 years ago of a really rare disease. And so when she passed away, the family set up this fund, and apparently it has done very well as far as raising money, and they are able to um, pull together families during the holidays and have them to go shopping. And it is wonderful. And these young people will continue in this program thanks to our DA. She knows that you don't just treat and provide a program one time. There has to be ongoing treatments. And so these young people will be in this program. They will continue in it. And so we approved the grant, accepting the grant that the DA had already applied for. And she was successful in getting it. It's targeting violence too. And it's grant funds that we receive that we don't have to pay back. Then the last thing I want to mention to you is that we approved a number of companies, engaging a number of companies that when we have some kind of a disaster, a storm, bad weather, and we have a lot of debris all over the place, like we had a couple of years ago, that there are companies that are ready and able to go out and to pull all of that stuff out of our communities. So we approve those things. All in all, a very good morning. We had a presentation from our Board of Health. Dr. Jimmy Smith is the director of our local Board of Health, and he did a presentation on environmental health and some slight adjustments to some of the fees that restaurants, we've got to have the folks from the different sections of the health department to come in and talk about what they do for you. You see those ratings that are in the windows that are displayed where a restaurant has to undergo inspection. Well, environmental health with our health department does that. And some of these folks have been getting some bad scores, and some I think have closed down for a while as a result. Some permanently because of that. So um, Patrick Davis, who is our statistician, Patrick he writes, does columns that he posts on Facebook. And so he has posted a story that he wants to bring to your attention. It's I love my little house, tiny houses coming to Macon as River Edge battles homelessness. We already have, I believe it's like 5 or 6 tiny houses over on Menard Street. They are the cutest little structures. And these people um, uh, have some challenges, and some have been homeless. But this is an opportunity for them to take care of the homeless. So I salute River Edge, and thank you, Patrick, for bringing that to our attention. Dr. Butler is congratulating our hardworking DA. We've got to kick off our campaign for reelection real soon, too, Mayor, because there's some people that think that they can do the job better than she can. And I say, I haven't seen them yet that can do a better job than she's doing. We have to give credit where credit is due. The previous DA did very little other than feed a bunch of people or give funds to friends of his. But this DA has truly served this community. She just works herself, just works. I was so glad to think that she might be getting some rest over the holidays, and I hope she did because she certainly does work. Dr. Butler says she can't eat at a low score establishment, and I would suggest that when you go into an establishment, that you check that health rating and look on there at the individual scores, why they had a low score, why they had a high score. And if some place has a low score, then that's a signal to you that maybe you need to be eaten somewhere else. Um, so those are the things that I wanted to bring to your attention. Don't forget the Martin Luther King events. Monday is the actual federal holiday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, Georgia's only Nobel Peace Prize winner. He gave his life. And I know a lot of people get tired of hearing it. You shouldn't get tired of hearing it, though. But Dr. King was assassinated for us. He was in Memphis advocating for the garbage workers. And he was killed. And so we ought to do something. Vote, participate in the Martin Luther King activities, and there are many, many of them. So, if you want to see a complete list of the Martin Luther King events, which, by the way, will take place January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. It will be 365, MLK 365. So on Monday, you'll have the march. After the march, you will travel to Historic Stewart Chapel for a program. There are some organizations that will be providing refreshments at City Hall and also in the parking lot of the church. So after you finish the march, you can get refreshed and then be a part of the program that's going to take place. There are just so many. If you want to know what events are taking place, would you please? Patrick has it in the chat. Patrick, you're right on it today. It's the WMAZ article news local event for MLK Day in Central Georgia. And if you go to Macon Bibb County / the web page and go to the Dr. King icon. Click on that. You will be directed to the entire month of January events that you can attend and participate in. Don't forget on Saturday. Um, okay. Um, don't forget on Saturday the uh, Parks and Recreation Department is doing an oratorical contest. I believe that it is at 2 o'clock. If I am wrong, if someone will correct me in the chat, but that is a wonderful event, and we want to support our young people. Maria Wynn with the Maria Wynn is on, and she's thanking us for the good information. It's at 11 o'clock. Thank you, Doctor Butler. It's at 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Senior Citizen Center in the Senior Citizen Center. And what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over and I'm going to let Mayor Denson tell us about welcome to Ask Elaine. And she's over there with all that red on, that Delta, like a Delta girl today. And hey, you're a Delta girl today with all that red. Anyway, she is the mayor, the honorable mayor of Toomsboro, and she's going to talk to you about the kinds of things that she is doing in Toomsboro and things that you might want to add the Martin Luther King events.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Elaine, for having me today. She really is a compassionate person, one that I've befriended over the years, and I thank and praise the Lord for her and for her husband, Senator Lucas, as well. They have not forgotten me. Even before I became mayor, they was friends with me. And I thank you, praise the Lord for that. Um, some of the things that's going on in Toonsboro, we're really excited about that. Elaine, we have a resource and event center now. We opened up
Oh.
last year, and what it is, it's a community type center. That anybody want to do anything community wise, that they can get the center for that. And we also that if they would like to have a birthday party or wedding shower, anything like that, they may be able to rent it for the day as well. We're upgrading our park. You was talking about parks and recreation. We want to make sure that all of the community and especially our youth be able to have somewhere where they can go and be healthy, play some games. We
Mm-hmm.
upgraded our basketball field. We're working on that area as well. Our
Oh my.
tennis court is up to par, and we added back in September we had another pavilion added to the park. We
Uh-huh.
really do have, to me, we have the best park in the state. And
Uh-huh.
I'll invite anybody down to come and look at it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I'm sure you're going to be like everybody else that visits said, you got it.
Patrick's put
This
your web there so that people can go to it to see
yes,
some of the
okay.
things that you're talking
Yes,
about.
it's up to date. We had one pavilion, but
If
like
you
if
pull that mic
okay, if
up so that you can.
two families wanted to have an event there, we could only do it one at a time. But now we have two pavilions available, and so if you want to have a birthday party for something, or if you just having some type of activity, you have somewhere to as well. I am in the process of looking to see if we can. I want to have our soccer field evaluated, see if it's up to par. So I'm asking somebody that would like to volunteer. They'll have a whole soccer there, that they
Mm-hmm.
come down and look at it and maybe offer that to the public as well. And one of the other things, we don't have it on paper yet, but one of the things, Elaine, and I'll probably be calling you about this one too, is that we're going to open up a Toonsboro Veterans Museum.
Oh
Yes,
my.
I think I'm especially thankful and grateful. And I can't say it enough. And I really do get teary eyed thinking about our men and women that have served the country, that are serving, and those that are thinking about serving. And so I wanted to do something that would commemorate them. We hold our veterans program every November the 11th. And when this opportunity came up that we may be able to get this building, I said, I was thinking about an arts museum. Then and the Holy Spirit just spoke to me a couple of nights ago and told me, said, no, turn it into a veteran museum. You always
Mm-hmm.
talking about the veterans, and I do come from a long line of them.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, my uncle,
Oh, that's
my
great.
brother, three nephews, and friends that I know. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law, neighbors, all served in one branch of the service. And so, and then being surrounded by those that's in our church and people that I know that have sons and daughters that are serving and that are now serving. I have a
Mm-hmm.
grandson, the middle one, he's in ROTC.
Oh my.
hmm So, I just want to do something to say thank you on behalf of the town of
Uh-huh.
Toonsboro
Uh-huh.
and the Wilkinson County as a whole.
Well, I want to tell all of you that this young lady, I always say if you can't show that you are into service before you run for office, it's kind of hard to
Me too.
convince me that
That's me.
you're. Come on, Mayor. It's Mayor of Milledgeville coming in. They're gonna get her. Oh, you're. If you can't show me that you're doing something for folks to better the community or neighborhood or whatever before you run for office, don't come trying to convince me afterwards. But this young lady has been involved, and our other mayor has been involved as well. um Thank you, Bishop. I tell
Great man,
you,
great
I
man.
hey, they want to make sure I don't blow up the station.
It's
So
good.
I'm just real happy that they are here. And I promise I won't touch anything. I just let them handle it. But Mayor, that's just so much that you're doing. But would you agree that before you decide to
do.
ask people for their support,
Right.
that you need to show them,
Amen.
you know,
Yes.
that there's something that you that they can
See
see
you.
in you that makes them want to
Do.
support you, because you're sitting at the table
Table.
acting
Absolutely.
on
On
their
their
behalf.
behalf.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
that
Okay.
is
And Elaine, let me chime
uh-huh.
in. Let me amen that again, echo that. Anybody that know me will tell you that is truly me. I like you. I'm for you as long as you're what's right. But I am going to look at and do my homework on your background. And if I have not seen you do anything in
It's
public,
yours.
Right.
and I think that that's one of the reasons why I am mayor today. And I could be wrong, but I believe that. I did not seek the office on my own. I had some people that said that they had watched me over the years and come and ask me. The same way when I ran for the state senate in 2014. I got a phone call that somebody told me that they had turned my name in. They wanted somebody from Wilkinson County. And I'm thinking, all the people in Wilkinson County, and I'm looking at people that got things behind their name in front of and on top. And they said, no, we've heard about the things that you have done. And that is my really, truly desire. I do not call myself a politician. I am an elected official known as a public servant.
Right.
I'm that I am that waitress and that waiter that you go into the restaurant and you want good service, whether you get give them a tip or not, they still serve you with kindness and with joy. And
Yeah.
that's me.
They need
Whether
to
I get
tip. Y'all need to
that's
tip.
it. Whether I get a pat on that,
Need to tip.
that's it. And they deserve a tip. But what I'm
Yes,
saying for
yes.
me, whether you come up to me, say anything, that I'm still gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I was elected to serve, and I am a
Absolutely.
servant, and that is one of the things that I want. Now more than ever, that people that are elected to office to realize you are a servant, that people are not
Right.
there to serve you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Nobody twisted your arm, held you down, and
That's
told you they
right.
were going to take you to the electric chair or anything. You said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, I will serve. So go and serve.
Right,
Right.
right. Thank you so much. And you are serving. I gotta come
Absolutely.
visit you in
Yeah, come on
Tinsboro
down.
too.
Come on
We
down.
might ought to have some kind of a little meeting or
I,
something, a
I
lunch
have been
meeting or
thinking about
whatever.
something like
Well,
that I
put
maybe
it
do.
together and
Okay,
invite us, and
most
then
certainly.
we
We can
can
Okay.
come out.
come
Yeah,
see you.
I'm working getting the resource center updated and everything. I'm working on
Okay.
it. And once we get everything, and that is one of my things. I said I want to invite people in and
Yeah.
look and see.
Well,
I had
sure,
our
we'll
Tiffany.
Yeah. See the
come.
Mhm.
great works that you're
Yeah,
doing.
I had
We will come.
our Tiffany Daniels from GMA came down last week, and
Okay.
she wanted to visit Toonsboro, so I gave her a tour of
Oh, she
Toonsboro.
took the other folks first. She took somebody else.
What did
See
she say,
now,
Miss
and we know we
Elaine?
wanted to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll still
Oh,
come.
yeah,
We'll
look,
still
I
come.
know y'all will come. I know y'all will
See,
come.
see.
Okay.
All
Next
Well,
in
I
right.
am
line.
gonna look. I'll have a special cup of coffee and some sweet
Oh,
tea
wow.
for you.
All
Sounds
right.
great. Sounds
Sounds
great.
good. Sounds good. Dr. Butler says, "He who is the greatest is the one who will serve." And look, Dr. Butler, you got two other ministers here. So, hey, I'm the heathen in the bunch. So
No.
you got two here. So they exactly. You are exactly right. All right. Our other female mayor, black female mayor, and we're spotlighting. We're going to be spotlighting them all the way through this year in honor of
Okay.
Dr. King. We want you to know
Wow.
who these folks are that are leading, although we don't seem to be able to get our act together in a lot of cases. A lot of areas have gotten their act together and they've elected some people that look like them, some people who think like them, some people who work for them. So our next mayor that we're very, very proud of is none other than the Honorable Mayor Mary Parham Copeland. She is the mayor of Milledgeville. And so I don't think we've had you on the show, have we?
I have when I was first
But
elected.
First
when we
5
were
years ago.
Downtown.
yeah,
Mhm. We
yeah,
all had
yeah,
lunch
yeah. But
together.
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So welcome, welcome.
you.
She's gonna tell you a little bit more about herself. She's gonna talk about Milledgeville a little bit. We do have listeners in Milledgeville. We have listeners in Toomsboro. We have listeners all around. This station reaches a lot of people.
Wow.
So we want everybody to know what we have as far as wonderful leadership. So Mayor Copeland, if you would reintroduce yourself to the Ask Elaine audience and then tell us what's going on in Milledgeville and what your priorities are. But welcome
Thank
to Ask
you.
Elaine. I'm sorry I sent you to the wrong. Okay. Hey, I messed
thought
up.
maybe you all
and I
saw me
sent
riding
her
up and
the
down
wrong.
the road.
I sent her the wrong address, y'all. I sent both of them the wrong address. I don't know why I'm fixated on the wrong. It began with a C too.
It's okay.
So
Well, I got
I
it locked
was
in.
fixated.
You
But
got it locked
anyway,
You
they
know
are
where we are
here.
now.
So
Exactly.
go ahead.
Well, thank you, Miss Elaine, for having us on today to be able to spotlight us. We're living in a time now that I share with people, especially in the city of Millersville, that you have a host of women at the helm, and that's something unheard of. First African American mayor, female mayor. We have a superintendent that's Black. We have President Cox sitting at the helm at Georgia College, and along with many more other women that are hosting the top seats in our community. When you think about where I am today, the little old girl from Millersville, Georgia, and I tell people, I'm often remind them that when we think about the Bible, it says, "Can any good thing come out of Nazareth?"
See,
and I said, "Can
I
any
can't-
good thing come out of Millersville?" Here
All
I am.
right. See, they quote the Bible, both of them, and they know I just get quiet then. But yes,
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot. It actually, mother of really 3 kids, 5 grandkids, married. December made 14 years. Wow. Looking back, I'm like, I never thought I would have made it, but 14 years in the making, and still hopefully 14 more. Still work full time. One thing that I give back in our community is I drive the school bus full time every day. So I get a chance to give back to our kids, and I share with them, despise not small beginnings, because the small beginning is why I'm where I am today. Um, so many things are going on in Millersville. My first 4 years, I was learning, had to listen, had to watch and grow. In this tenure, I feel like I'm finally taking the horn by the bull. I mean, the bull by the horn, and I'm actually leading as the mayor of the city of Millersville. And one thing, Miss Elaine, I said, "Ask Elaine." She said, "You just gotta lead." And trust me, since she said that in my spirit, I've been taking it, and I said, "Okay, I'm leading in
Amen.
2023."
They put
And
you there. That's
and
what they want
exactly.
you to do.
That's right.
Of course, they share with you, you're the mayor. We want to see you. We want to hear from you. And being in that public servant role, I try to make sure that I am there, that I'm visual. Not only visual, I'm touchable. And the good things that we have going on in Millersville is that we're opening up a lot of doors as far as just walking into certain situations. One of my platforms coming in 4 years ago was our water infrastructure. We just had a wonderful Christmas season.
Oh yeah, y'all had some
We
water
had some
problems,
water problems
didn't you?
going up and down the holiday season. And it was funny. I told someone, they said, "I saw you on the news giving out water." Well, that's what I'm supposed to do as a servant. I'm supposed to serve first. And that's my motto. I believe in leading by example. It doesn't matter to me. I'm like the football player. I can be the quarterback. I can be the running back. I can be whatever you need me to be, and not have that platform that people think I'm trying to shine. But the fact that she really is serving at the capacity that she has been elected in, because I can walk in something that you've invited me to, and I can be walking out the door and they'll be like, "Oh, the mayor was here." The humbleness that you
It
have to
means
have.
a lot.
Yes,
It means
yes.
a lot.
People really appreciate knowing that their mayor is touchable. That I
Mhm.
can pick up a phone and call her. That I can walk to her office and say, "I need to see the mayor,"
Mhm.
and be able to see the mayor. As Mayor Denson stated, we eat with you, we work with you, we have fun with you, and you're my neighbor. And so that is, to me, it means a lot to be in a beloved community, that we are growing in many facets, in many ways. When we talk about education, when we talk about our recreational parks, our water and sewer line, whatever the case may be that you're talking
Yeah.
about, it means a lot to me as the mayor to be able to just stand and say, we're doing this together.
Right.
It's not just the mayor, but we're doing it as a
Amen.
team, and we're making everyththing work out.
Patrick, our statistician, has placed the Milledgeville site
Oh,
on
wow.
in the chat
Okay.
for us. He whenever we are doing a show, he's on with information to enhance what we're doing. So he's put Toomsboro on. He's got
Thank you.
Milledgeville on.
Wow.
So
Thank
if
you.
anyone wants to click on that and be directed to those cities'
Right.
Right.
websites,
Because we do have a
then you can
website.
get a little bit more
Right.
information. Let me ask you both this to respond to this. Have you what are the challenges of being a female mayor that men don't have? What have you found?
Walking into my position, what I found is the room of authority.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that although we are female, we are in charge. And so
you're supposed to do the cooking. You're supposed to do the cooking and the cleaning. You're not
here.
supposed to. Yeah.
And that's one thing I share with my city manager. I don't care if it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning. If I need to be on site, I need to be on site.
Right.
Don't have a problem with calling me, because I don't have a problem coming out. And so that's what I ran into a lot of my first tenure. Started out a little bit that way this tenure, but I said, no, wait a minute. You might not respect the person, but you will respect the position. And so that's what I found to be most people's problems, especially with us being African American females, a position we, of course, to them, we shouldn't be in anyway.
Absolutely.
But we deserve to be where we are. And for some reason or another, and I give all my praises to the Almighty, because when He instructed me to run for this position, I was like, no, not me, God. You sure you have a sense of humor. And as I meditated on it, and finally He kept at me, and I told my husband, he said, why not? And so it's been on ever since. Even with the water situation, okay, I got some feedback, but I was strong enough to say, hey, wait a minute. Okay, it's not. The thing was, one person said to me, you're the mayor, and this is a self-inflicted issue that you have going on. And I said, how so? Tell me, what is it that made it all my problem? This is a situation that I inherited, but it's a situation that I'm working on. And how we get to making it better together is how we choose to work in it together.
Well, some people just wanna they wanna we're out there, and there are some people who just wanna throw stuff at you. They think that you are a doormat rather than their servant leader.
Absolutely.
And there are some
And
people
it's a
who
difference
call
between a
and
doormat
say,
and a servant.
that's right.
Exactly.
And they say some things, and you don't have to take that. But I know there's a diplomatic way of handling anything, but there's also a time when you have to realize that you are the top elected official, and there's some things you gotta do.
Well, the word tells us it's a time and a place for everything.
Oh, absolutely.
And what you have to do is, in the first few months that I was in the office, I nothing directly. I got a lot of people coming to me wanting to tell me about what's on. So I said, if you got something that you want to discuss with me about, you can discuss that. But we're not going to discuss anybody else unless that person is here. And that was my position, and that's still my position to this
They
day.
didn't come back
Okay,
either, did they?
no,
No, not once you stand and they realize you're standing.
right.
I have a problem.
And one of the things is, and I realize, like I said, this is being an elected position, but I've been working with the community and in the county for years. And so I ran across some things and I know how to address it. And so one of the things that I do is that if people do have an issue and if you are willing for us to sit down and talk, then we can talk about it and discuss it. But the bottom line is I am the person.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And I said meaningfully, I said wholeheartedly, and I say it with a smile. Now I tell people that we can talk and discuss about anything and have a disagreement. And my thing is now once we finish talking, I'm going to ask you this question. And Elaine, this is not made up. This is what I actually do. If a lady was still alive that worked at Central State Hospital, she'll tell you this. That when I finish and I say, okay, is there anything else that we need to get out in the open? And if you say yes, well, when I finish, then I'm gonna say, well, can we have a cup of coffee? Do you want to go to lunch one day or whatever? And I'm still gonna speak. Now I'm gonna speak to you, Elaine, whether you speak back or not. I'm still gonna speak. I had a lady one time that do that, and she told me everything was okay. And the next morning when I come in, I'm speaking, and she didn't speak back. I'm thinking she just didn't hear me, so I went on to my classroom. And the next day, the same thing. And then one of my other coworkers said, George, you speak to her every day. Do you realize she's not speaking to you? I said, but that has nothing to do with me speaking to her. Mind you, I said, now when I come to work every morning, do I not say good morning? How are you doing?
You just don't have time to
and
deal with
go
that
and
kind
go
of little
ahead
petty
on.
stuff. We have a question. Patrick's question is, as mayors of Toomsboro and Milledgeville, what is the city council's relationship with your county commission in Baldwin and Wilkinson counties? So do the cities and the counties
Work
cooperate?
together.
And before you answer that, Mr. Cotton says he loves to see females in higher positions. Nothing against men,
Thank you,
but
Mr.
females
Cotton.
get jobs done. Is never no any buddy system.
Right.
Says you ladies have done a wonderful job.
Thank
Keep
you.
working hard.
Tell him
People
thank you.
watch you when you don't think
Realize that
Thank
they're
you.
watching.
That's it.
and they
Absolutely.
know what's going on. And if they have an opportunity, they will let you know,
Yes.
especially the good. There's
Right.
some that just wait
That's
to
what my mother.
criticize,
Right.
My
Absolutely.
like
mother.
they're waiting on Biden to
Yeah.
criticize.
My mother
They
and
filed,
grandmama taught that.
12 papers,
Mhm.
and Trump had hundreds
Hundreds
of
of
them,
them that
and
he
they're
shouldn't
trying
even
to,
have, you know.
boy, I
Don't
tell
feed them.
you.
Don't feed them. Don't feed them.
Don't feed them. Don't feed them.
Don't feed
Okay.
'em. Okay. But to answer his question, repeat his question again. He said Patrick wants to know.
And he wants to know what the
Oh,
relationship
okay.
is between your city and your county.
Okay. Ours is we have a new county commissioner, but even with the ones that was in office before, I try to at least go to each one of our commissioners meeting. I usually go to the one they meet twice a month, so I attend, and they would tell you I am one of those. I watches over everything. I'm going to ask questions, and they can come to me as well, and I think we have a good relationship. The new ones that have come into office, I've introduced. I think they all know me, but the ones that I thought that may not really know who I am, I offer them the opportunity to meet with me at any time. And I've contacted them, and we're all working on a project now for the county. And my city council members, I'll put them up against anybody in the state that I do. I have. They're very supportive, and anything that I call them, they'll call me if they have a question. If anybody's saying anything, they want to know what, and I make sure that we have the information. Even with the city of Milledgeville, I haven't got a chance to visit you yet. But even in Milledgeville, the only reason I can't go to the council meeting in Milledgeville is because we meet on the same day. But I attend the county commissioners meeting, and I have a relationship though with her city manager and the county manager. So I'll call them if anything coming up that I need to know. They ask it. Even in Forsyth with Mayor Eric Wilson, he's been really on board with me since I've been in office. I can call. I remember my first year in office. I wanted to know something about the fire department and how it works. I asked him, could I come? Because I remember him mentioning about a teacher in one of the meetings. He invited me to come up. His instructor took me around. The fire chief told me everything that I need to know, told me some more people to contact. And that's the way it is, like
We
even
need
in
to-
Dublin,
yeah.
I went to when the new mayor was elected, I went to that night when he was sworn in the council member. And one of the reason I do that, I think we glean and learn from each other.
Yeah.
And I need to know what's on. Toonsboro sits here, but we're surrounded by all of you. I need to know what you're doing
Right.
because what one person does affects the other one.
does.
It's
It
not
does.
all about me. It's not all about you. It's not all about they. It's about us
Right.
working together.
Right.
So what can I learn from Bibb County that I can take back to Wilkinson County and Toonsboro that will help us? Because we visit here, we shop here, so we need to know what is the mayor doing in Milledgeville that she can help. And there's never been a time that I call her that ask her for assistance or whatever, and she was not there in her council people.
Yeah. See, that's it. Did you want to?
And likewise, likewise, we're doing the same in the city of Milledgeville. And I tell people too often that Milledgeville is the hub. So everything is around us, and we try to work with everyone.
Right.
We have a good working relationship. I think over the last 4 years, Chairman Heron Craig and I garnered a relationship together that made us run more smoothly and more efficiently as council and commissioners. We're working on joint projects. We're working on things right now that brings us to the table to come and say, okay, what's best for the city of Milledgeville?
Yeah.
What's best for the people coming in? Because we have more people coming into the city of Milledgeville that come to work. And I tell them, you come to live, work, and play because majority of the time they're there. As far as the commissioners, we're doing wonderful things working with them. We are so excited. In her 14-year tenure. This time around, we have Miss Emily Davis as the chairwoman of the Baldwin County Commission.
That is
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
I was in a retired educators meeting, luncheon meeting with Emily just a little while ago.
No.
She didn't tell me that.
She did. Oh, wow.
She
We
didn't
are
tell me.
so
I
proud.
am so pleased because I know in the past that's been
Right.
She
a
did.
problem. They would not rotate her into the
Well, they did
chairmanship,
this
even though
time.
she had that
She has
seniority
everything.
those years
Right.
there.
Years
So
there.
that is wonderful.
Amen.
So we're
Amen.
That's why she had that stick. So
Amen.
she could,
Yeah.
she could
Tap
maintain
on that
order.
table.
She
Yeah.
could, I know.
I know that.
Anyway, we didn't get a chance to talk, but that is so
Yes.
great.
Amazing.
That is so great.
And that's why I share with people we have so many women at the top positions.
Right,
you know.
right.
And
Let's
I'm
see
thankful
if we
to
can
you.
name some more. All right, now there used to be a black female mayor of Fort Valley, Mayor Williams. She chose not to
To run
run.
again.
She's living in South Carolina
Oh,
now.
okay. I didn't know where she had went. Okay.
We're friends on Facebook,
Okay.
so
okay.
we're
Okay,
still
Barbara
in
Williams.
communication. She
Yeah.
seems like she's very happy being there with family.
Yeah,
I know that
I didn't know
that
she
was
had
what-
moved to
I
South
didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Wow.
Now, over in Edenton, you have a black male mayor, John
John
Reed.
Reed.
His wife, Janie, is on
the
the
city
city
council.
council.
And
She
held
used to be on
commissioners.
the commission.
Long
And
time.
so, I think that is great. Who else?
And you have
Greensboro,
April Axide
Yes.
in Gordon is the
Gordon.
mayor.
That's
And you
right.
have
First
Vicky
term.
Horn as mayor in McIntyre.
Oh,
Absolutely.
look,
Mhm.
we've got to get these Yeah, we've got to get some of these others. We want people to know that you might get discouraged sometimes, but
Mhm.
there are a lot of
It is.
blacks who are in
Mhm.
leadership
Absolutely.
position. Y'all hear that music?
I
Yeah,
hear
I
that
kept
Our
music.
time is up. We're gonna have to
I
have
just
y'all
you
got
see,
here
back.
you
with you
see, I
all,
Yeah.
kept
and our
looking.
time
I
is
said,
Look
no.
what
up.
you got in. Everything, everything.
Wow.
Well, Elaine, I
These
want to say
folks are
thank you right quick.
they're reminding us of the Martin Luther King
Yeah.
event. So
Yes.
y'all go to Macon, Bibb County,
Mhm.
Hmm.
click on the King icon, and you'll be directed to all those different events. Go ahead with what
Hmm.
Yeah,
you
I was just
do.
going to say thank you again so very much. I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your friendship.
Absolutely.
And I do. And you never, never, I'm telling, and I am proud of Macon, the work that y'all doing here.
Yes.
I'm very proud of Millersville that the work that they are
Uh-huh.
doing. I'm
Uh-huh.
proud of what the mayor and Warner Robins is doing.
Yes.
I'm telling you, literally. And both of them know the listener may not know me exactly, but they'll tell you. Before I give a compliment, I'll just keep my mouth closed.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I
I don't
know.
give out false compliments.
I'm still working on that. I'm still
Hey,
working
but
on telling.
stay as you are.
Oh,
My husband loves to say something to Elaine, and I told him, I said, she's
oh,
going to teach me how to
oh,
walk it. I'm going to learn how to walk it.
listen.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.